Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I am going to be doing the Vines Branch Equestrian Trail. It's just below the Eagle Rock Loop, and a little bit is an overlap of the Eagle Rock Loop. So we're going to go out here this weekend and get it done. It's supposed to start raining the last day that I'm on the trail, so hopefully it's not too bad. I kind of want it to rain to test out my gear in the rain because I've never actually been backpacking in the rain. Camping, yes. Backpacking, no. I am not doing the full loop. There's another parking spot down the road that you could park at specifically for the equestrian trail, but I am just above the winding staircase. So that's where I parked. That's where I'm going to end it. Hopefully, we're going to do 8 miles today and then probably about 10 tomorrow, and then the rest of it Saturday morning. So come on with me with the Vines Branch Equestrian Trail. All right, now a quick caveat to this trail. Part of it, a little less than half of it, is on the forest road. So it's a natural road. It's not paved, but it is for horses. It's an equestrian trail, so they utilized the road to make it easier on the horses. So if you don't like road walking, this might not be the trail for you. There's tons of little pull-offs for car camping. You can see the little fire pit over there. So if you don't want to go backpacking necessarily, you can just bring your car and tent camp out here. Lots of options in the Ouachita National Forest, and let's be honest, is that not a good view? This would be great. Set up your car, stay for a couple days, enjoy the wilderness. You can have all sorts of fun out here. Is not wait till I'm absolutely starving and feel like crap before I eat. So I made sure I ate a good breakfast. I had a little bit of lunch, and I also have a lot of snacks. So hopefully I won't feel like passing out when I get to camp. It was something I learned on my first trip. So I didn't eat anything that first day, and just the rest of the trip wasn't that great because I didn't eat anything. So hopefully eating more is going to help. And in true hiker fashion, I have nerd gummy clusters because they're the best. One thing I have to remind myself of is there's no such thing as ridiculously slow. As long as you are moving and that pace gets you to the end of the trail, it counts. I am from Central Illinois and have since lived in Central Texas for the last 8 years. And there's no elevation gain to be heard of. Like on my weekly just kind of day hikes, the hilliest place I can find might be 400 feet of elevation gain, and I've already done 5. So, you know, it is what it is. Other than the Stairmaster, I don't really know how to get in shape for this, so we just go really slow. I think my uphill mile an hour is like maybe 1. On flat or level ground, even with a pack on, I can usually go about 2.5, 3 miles an hour. But uphill, nope, not happening. So go at your own pace. You'll make it to the top eventually. Okay, this might or might not make me a nerd, but my first thought when I saw that white tree was, oh, it's the tree of Gondor. Oh, Lord of the Rings. Yippee! I've been going for about 2 hours. I've gone almost 5 miles. I'm at 4.78, so pretty good pace, even with the bit of an uphill, which slows me down significantly, but I can feel a blister forming on my heel and my Achilles on my left foot. So I'm gonna put some moleskin on that. Well, no, I don't know what it's called. To look at the name of the tape, but it's the stuff I put it on my trekking pole. It's like KT tape, but it stays on till you force it to come off. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of that on my heel and we'll take a quick break and then we'll get back going. We got about 3¼ miles left. Another great thing about this trail is I only brought 1 liter of water. It goes along the little creek down here, or the river. I guess technically it's a river. So you don't really have to carry a lot of water. I drank a lot on the way to kind of pre-hydrate, I guess, to, you know, start with the tank full instead of the tank empty. But this is my first liter of water. I haven't filtered anything yet, but I could stop anywhere and go filter some great water. The water here tastes amazing because it is from this whole river spring fed. You can literally see the springs coming out of the ground. So it's very, very fresh water. One thing I forgot to film, about ½ a mile back that way is where the Eagle Rock Loop cuts across here. So if you wanted to do a shorter trip instead of the 20 that this is going to be, you could park where I parked and then you could cut it in half and do that little part of the Eagle Rock Loop. Now, I think there's more elevation gain just with that little bit of the loop than there is for this whole 20 miles. So take your pick. Miles, elevation gain, whichever one you're better at. But you can't see it from this point of view, but that mountain over there is Brush Heap, and then I'm pretty sure this one is the Eagle Rock Vista. So it's all in the same area. It's about 4½ hours away from Dallas, so it's not too bad of a drive, and it is absolutely gorgeous out here. All right, all water is fed. Now we have 3¼ miles to camp. Onward and forward. Today was about, I think, like 56. It felt great all day, and I'm not cold, but it is significantly cooler on this side of the hill because the sun is over there hiding and I'm in the shadow, so it is significantly cooler. So I gotta keep moving, otherwise I'm gonna get cold. I don't know the history of this house, but I'm gonna have to look it up. It's very small. I wonder how long it's been here. But there are signs that say private property, no trespassing. So I'm just gonna stay on the road and not go over there. But that is cool. The sun came back. Glorious. I love the sun. And it's not too bad of a view over there either. I don't know if you can see it because of the sun, but it's pretty nice. Pretty nice. So warm. So, this is the campground we're going to camp in tonight. Technically it's closed, but it's just closed in the sense of none of the amenities are open. You're not allowed to go in there. So we're gonna go find a campsite over there and set up for the night. Alrighty, I made it to camp. There's nothing posted about you're not allowed to camp here. It just says closed. There's a bar across the gate, but it's super easy to walk around, so they must not care too much. I looked at the notices and stuff. I think they just closed the campground because people weren't camping here, because the last thing that was posted was in 2016. So I'm just gonna stay here in this nice little shelter. That'll really block the wind, so hopefully tonight's supposed to be the coldest night, so hopefully that'll help with that. I hope I can set my tent up in there. My tent uses trekking poles, but I think I can figure it out. I don't know, we'll see. I might have to rig some stuff. But it's pretty clean. The bathroom's even open. There's a pit toilet over there and it's not locked, so I guess if someone comes in the middle of the night and tells me to leave, I'll leave. But other than that, this is where I will be staying for the night. Okay. Now the trick is to see if I can get back without falling into the water. Perfect. I didn't even die. All right, after much debate, I think I'm just gonna sleep in here without putting the tent up. As you can see, I haven't even unpacked my bag, and I'm like, you know what? So it's not like I tried to set my tent up and couldn't do it. But in the spirit of trying new things, I'm just going to sleep in the shelter without my tent. It's cold enough that there shouldn't be any bugs. I'm hoping all the little critters are asleep in their den somewhere. There is some evidence of it's either a rat or a squirrel. I don't know. I think it'll be fine. I hope it's fine. I don't want any visitors in the night. So I am going to set things up. I'm going to cook dinner. I'm going to put my warm clothes on because it is 50 degrees out and we are in the shade and it is cold. So this is camp for the night. Yay! Well, that's not good. So before it gets completely dark, my supper is reconstituting with some water. And after I unpacked my bag, I realized that I forgot my puffy jacket, I forgot a charging cord, and my water filter is not filtering. It's completely stuck. So that's fine. We'll see how this goes. I might just do the rest of the trail tomorrow and not spend another night. This water is pretty fine. It's very clear. There's not a lot of human stuff on it, but I really don't want to get sick. So I'm going to boil some in the morning to have to drink, and then I'll probably just finish the rest of the trail tomorrow and get back to the car. Might even get cut a little short, but it's okay. Well, good night, everybody. I hope all of my devices don't die. I have my battery bank. I just don't have a cord to get the power from the battery bank to the devices. So that's fine. But good night, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. That was definitely chillier than I thought it was going to be. I tossed and turned all night. It was very, very cold. So in light of that, I am just going to go back the way I came. It's supposed to rain tomorrow night, so as cold as it was tonight, I don't want to be wet and cold and risk hypothermia. When I woke up, it was 31, so that was fun. Definitely need better cold weather gear. So I'm going to just do the 8 miles back to the car and call it a trip. I'm wearing my sleep socks as gloves, and there's those little hot hand things in there because it's cold. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but you can definitely see my breath. Okay, note to self. The more you do things, the more you learn. Get better cold weather gear. And my water filter is also not working, so I think we're just gonna call it a day, call it a loss. It was okay. I really wanted to get outside, so it was a good enough trip. We're just not gonna do the whole loop. We're just gonna do a day trip, which is perfectly fine. Turkey hunting area. I could have gotten my Thanksgiving dinner on the trail. Who knew? Another option, as opposed to just going back to the car, would be to do that little cutoff on the Eagle Rock Loop. It would be more miles. And I thought, maybe, that would be fun. You still get to see the winding stairs where it's still pretty. But I got to where I could see brush heap and the Eagle Vista, and I don't want to climb those. So Let me turn you around and show you. That one right there is brush heap, and that one right there is where the vista is. So I don't really want to climb that high. It doesn't look as big in the camera, but it is. There's lots of elevation gain on that, and I don't feel like doing that today. So we're gonna stick with the original plan and just go back to the car. I swear, squirrels are the loudest little menaces in this forest ever. It sounds like a buffalo is going through the brush. Anyway, squirrel. Anyway, I debated finishing the loop just tomorrow, or today, I guess. Just finishing the loop, but I think if I had done that, it wouldn't have been as much fun, and that's really why I'm out here. I have to keep reminding myself that even though it didn't go according to plan, it was still fun. I still got outside, and that is the important thing. Another thing is I never want to be the hiker that somebody has to go rescue. Barring an animal attack or like a broken leg or something, I don't like risking staying out when it's supposed to get down to 30 again tonight. It's just stupid. It's just dumb considering how cold it was last night. I'm going to let wisdom prevail and just go back to the car. I have to remind myself that even though it's a bummer that it didn't go as planned, it was still fun. It was still fun. So, adventures don't always go according to plan, and I've had enough of doing that. I should know that by now, but that's okay. But I know what to ask for Christmas. If anybody wants to give me a 0-degree sleeping bag, that'd be great. Alright, I am going to take a quick break, get some water, delayer. I'm not cold anymore. I have my socks in my pockets, so I'm going to put those back in my backpack. This little spot is beautiful. You could pull your car off over here and go car camping, but look at it. We're back to the gondor tree. But it's quite pretty. The water is crystal clear, so I hope it doesn't give me, Giardia or something. Okay, breakdown. I just saw an otter, and that totally makes up for turning around and coming back to this little pond thing. That was magical. I got it on video on my phone. I hope you can see him in it. See those little ripples on the water? It's either an otter or a beaver. I just saw it get out. Oh, I can see him under the water. Oh, it's a little otter. Look at him, see his head? Oh, he's gonna come up right next to me. He's so cute. He's so fast. I'm not mad that I turned around anymore. This is great. Otters are worth it any day. Especially when you're out in the wild and not just at the zoo. Highly suggest classical music for your hiking trips. It's great. That and Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is perfect for your adventures. Like maybe half a mile off. But this spot was just too perfect not to sit on the log in the sun next to the creek. Like, I wasn't not gonna go sit on there. we're still here. It's always a good sign when your car is where you left it. Alrighty, well, it was a fun trip. Didn't go as planned, but still fun. Thanks for coming with me, and again, happy Thanksgiving.